ya wa teacher school so I pa bed ping so mago bieno bukara an gun point so mago wa anda bed ping so kita ber kita en gram kwanyu ni ngo ni cher neke erke kwanya as a team gram kwanya dana bichiel so no ngo ki wocho ni ngo ni ko perwa ko tibu ngo diko anda ngase tuji kae beting ci anda tu beru ping ko man beru ping na beru ping so go tu ci ha ko man nge au ka eni we ko wiya dok chen ikita cha ko donyo keri lueng ke kita cha ko keri lueng dak ke kita cha ko makko keri mo ponyu makko mo dogo no rere wa en no rere ci en ke ci lu kan karo en ke ci an en ke ko ki elere en karo en.
Sunday Otto and Richard Odong were abducted in 1993 by Uganda's rebel group, the Lord's Resistance Army. They were among some 65,000 children who were abducted over 20 years to be trained as brutal killers against their own communities and each other.
So Richard, can I ask you, how old were you when you first killed someone in the LRA?
No better not to put him ba bongwan ni chu mano a check nek ma anange na chako not take ma abongwan.
They rose within the ranks of the LRA to become key senior commanders to the leader, Joseph Kony. As adult men, they escaped the LRA and took government amnesty packages some 15 years later, returning to live amongst the very communities they wreaked havoc within. But formative years spent with guns in the bush are not good grounding for re-entering the community and living a stable life. Both Richard and Sunday suffer from emotional problems and fear for their family's security. They tried to start up a grain milling business together, but this has recently failed.
These are young boys who were abducted and went to the bush and did what they did. They didn't expect to come back and face reality. They have lived in the community normally for about 2-3 years. And they are now, what they did is now haunting them. They feel inside themselves they want to come and tell people what happened. But they find difficulty in saying it because what they did was horrible. That was willful killing. They were commanding an operation and targeting whatever they wanted to do. Though they started as abducted, then they did the rest now on their own plan. So they have to account for it.
Around half the 65,000 children abducted in Acholi land have returned home. After 20 years of LRA-inflicted violence, the Acholi people are devastated, both physically and spiritually. The families and clans of those killed have had no apology and received no reparations. The government amnesty in 2000 for returned LRA soldiers did not seek a spiritual reconciliation between the two sides. But for the abductees and their community to be able to move forward, such a reconciliation is essential.
One chief is telling us that they are facing a lot of problem in the rural areas, psychological problem anyway, and they keep on coming to him. So he was requesting that why can't we organize the rituals to get them through this process.
At Kirkalkwaro, the Acholi Cultural Justice Centre, Prime Minister Oketa and the Acholi elders are convened to discuss the cases of Richard and Sunday. In traditional Acholi belief, the system of Mato Oput justice, rituals of truth, compensation and forgiveness used specifically after a killing, are the only way for conflicted clans to overcome grievances and live peacefully together again.
Pegian ke kan luar juga nanti mapo. Joma wak isan. Sana wace yu mani ni. Sigian wa ni yu mo to beruti kemi mato put ketawan ke yu ke tek tek ke. Ukil ma telo pen.
Tika yelu weekend gang kuno. Mo wa o kat ke tam ne mero ke konyu ne.
Watang no ba pen no put pia wa gonya men amnesty ber chalo. Petian no ne petiu. Eto wan ma chalo wana chudi. Ko yo betu. Agonya.
Dok mo mia ne man et no me ngene ngadi. Yo ne rume yo ne ba mero. Yo ne mo initiare di rum pa doi. Sini sielu ni ne ni sielu. Mo mo ne sielu.
Mun ne ke be ne lo mo yu papa to wen. Chuwa wakat yan angina agami ma chiak kama. Wa be lo wen ke te chak 1994 to 2003. Abe la loin ma wor ka ber ma pat to wen ma lo kwane ko in northern region.
Loin ma ki ber ga loin mo ni. Ter ber ban itini ni an won kom me committee en kombini. Lega na tie kitman ana merli.
With the consent of the Acholi King, Prime Minister Oketa is directed to oversee the process of Mato Oput for Richard and Sunday. This is the first time that traditional justice has been used to deal with war crimes of senior LRA commanders. If Mato Oput can be used successfully here, the hope is that it will set a precedent for reconciliation for affected communities across northern Uganda. Richard delivers the letter to his parents.
Dana beke kan tika yelwa ni mo ki tian wa tika ya ya yo ti obere ye ka neno chan ne yeno wa ti obere me ka kan chan mak po berbe e mak yeno ne ba ka ne mo no ti ke ka kwan na ko bere ko dong nyo ti
jemi dujulu wen ker ma wo tek dong mo ni wo kan dong bi ko ne ana ya kelu la tian na yu kelu ni kwan ma dong wow, they want to do the wing.
The crimes Richard and Sunday committed affect not just themselves, but also their clans. Sunday's clan welcome him home with a ceremony that cleanses the spirit. The egg is seen as clean, new. Someone who has committed an atrocity or a dehumanising act is purified by stepping on the egg.
Ke dia no be furatiri wono ngeyo ader chan ano red ma chel ke chela en tuche ke chelo ira yo bi mo ko e wi ma ka no kar kan no ke chelo tiana en ke chelo en kan wa so je mo te pelo do pe ma no lo karana angini po nen marat toal an kitu jola kere a foyo an fuche ma tek to la do ko borno borlo ba da angini pe no pe ke biara chia foi pe ni kanu ne petio nuk an ko komber no na pere nuk kan ni kot guare kom ka kero ki choy constitution mi oganyo kira no beru kere ko pe ka guak no so bi ogang unu nge kiro bo tin kere changin ana foi lo ka mama dung pal pe
The Acholi clans respond to the Prime Minister's request to attend the Acholi Cultural Justice Centre to hear Sunday and Richard's confessions. Rod Joseph is a chief from the Pajuli region, an area that has endured particularly intense LRA activity. He has watched his community spiritually unravel and is an unwavering advocate for the healing benefits of Mata Oput rituals.
Lu di roman dong mana tiene o chao tierro o mi wa choi war ga boto ni unu bin we ko nyo lo si ko be ni dong unu sande o mer unu tete wa lo wi kirta ti kwere we ko nen pien lueny enini manaka yami ya churi kir luenye puru beru pere kuri lueny pa konyi.
In this first stage of Mata Oput, Sunday and Richard must reveal their fellow Acholi victims' names, together with the places of massacres. But the nature of their mass killings makes naming the victims difficult and is an issue that the elders have not had to deal with before.
Chika no ngat ini tikine bene mo dugo do no tegang ke bi pen chiblian mo buru pen chiki ngan man gwel ci gwel jar kuita pen yu mene ma e neko chikita ayiro bera win ki bollu ta la ma don un ke kal kwar ma waje ni kong miri ngi pat ma in chiu che ye kong miri ngi ka ma chiu che ye o nyu kom ngat ma chiu che ye ma oro bir ni o berite ko man pa o cha la gera cái cha mấy chị giàu mới đồn chứ quạt để ini còn nó kia ngọ cái đồn một cái này cái quạt cái o cha tai yêu rung lọc mấy rồi pi cái bé mấy rồi pi tao đong yêu để ini còn nó cái đồ tao con ao bia quay cái bát cái này ini jual thì việc ngà er ada berang wa kompeti an pangi ore chere men mi thế nào iwor diwo dong ana biro no ni ka che gini ini o pure no tie o nyo peke tu no ana beri aling mo dinka ka me engo Jordan wanne o mo ken wa ngol wa ngoro wa show me vitali ken yang en ma ko me pangi kompeti ana tie a chiro la mente che come mo ken wa ma wa chero kergi wanne o be chere kor mo jong Uri wa chili ki munyi ken ma pengo pa chibilian. Wa chere kor mo jong. Imoru lem. Dano ta kuna da wa wan a chuli ma wa wor ke ka chen ma mi wa ma wa wor ke ni. Mo ken o bera ke eni. Ma kun kok no mera ko nya. Ro pi pe. Ana lo ya lo be ke kuna ti wa chweni. Gudo madwa ta. Wa wala cha ba pe ba. Oi ka ngo ka mi ko ke kumi. Ni ko nya. Gu ne chutung i te yo dong ma ko ini kon bel ngon ka yelo widano lo ka eno aero pendien lo keni ma wa peni atika munga mo ana titu kana le
kaka man wana beri moñ o belo lueny no mo dong tin way mar ne ling kianga nyo chiket an bu chen mutaka no telo mo pen ana chet paro kwa nyabara for example charo kam kinu keno ram kwa nyu UPDF ko ke barracks gi munyagamente civilian beneto ye at ke wow eno ni mu keno ai pa wow no ti command ma an ba ga mo cheke ki kwene ke maro so tiendo upute amaro kyanga amar ne ni un machar un kal kwaro an unu di achuri unu nen kita time kere kachil kingo unyo pen wan no watiano unge kita time kere nyo ki tiune ning ko tiru pena wila bol ko doga nyoka ko ngo time ko ngo ti unu yo nge kita ngo te wan tingo te ta foi
Bon con kan ti teo ti ma ti
bien le tin ki kana ye po e kelu lokba mo ken ne be do e binu wa mo ni lo ka bi bine e kom le tin ma dogo ni e kal mier wanen ni o fije o bakko yo kom le tin ni pour jette po gire o meda nyima nyim me lo ko chil me kom le tin ni mero gina kal yaw ye
maro pot mero beti dar mone ma in ye ni sio kan ko nye leo ka lu ka pa jo ni cha ni binu sigi belo pen ki no jema meta ni wen ti mo kwe chi ka chuli chi kita ti ne pe nge nga mo ko ne ko en ta da ko mi o da ni ki chil da ni ne da me ro to ben pe nge ko mi chi wa mi to ri bunu tam o me ke tem gi ra ngo
awa ni u put ki mari lok meto in kai ne ko dano in ki kumi ka pe munge ki roma cha ko lok me mata fut menu no putu bene kwere bene ti kinu ke jomani man ke yubo lok me mata fut meri po kinu me ke lu beberi kinu
peto ar mate bien do lu o pa ka mais madam maka dong ni mata fut tie jo ma gen cha go program me o le tien ai gen lu ne ko unyo cha en kon ke come ma ene oro le tien ni chitimu o miro ene yo bella marfo
mari por ko ti kamadam ti kapoye pol lu tien mdu ki oli wan ti kaporo maka wa lo to wa lo ko meti ana rio ken ka wa ti lo ki ka kwa kan ke kwa kan ne po lo ko meti ana rio ken kombetini ka wa no ne no ka wa ku gon konyu duge kon go bitaw go tien go dirini ci ka kuri gina kin man tie ci ko ñu po dugo wana ci po be me de tijwa ata on mer wan wa me de tijwa
an bene keta chala a kere ki pajuwa angeni matu putpe
ko ñu be ro dui pa mo sabe yina tien na ke yinde lweni ko wan wa lweni ci ko ni ke kare bi be tie ci mege bi ol ci ke topulum ci ke o gang ci wa a ke gong tong no ci ki timu kita me lango timu ni ki timu kita chulo timu ke mere we ko beru agonya we ko timu ma bien ci ngwane gen bera gonya ata ma loko ma duon to alu ni timu ginu mo ne put mo cha ma ke jo mo ne peke wa ye ni te kwar kan pe
Having steeled themselves to talk about what they did, Richard and Sunday are frustrated by the division between the elders and between the clans about whether Mata Oput can proceed. Richard, in particular, feels exposed.
Pena teaching lo mona mapangi komgi anyim pale tiano na pangi kara ki be kan ko pe no le tiano ka ngata mam kwa ko ni mati dong no pe so luora ti mer full maximum pen ki ti kere mi nge gena atim ma ia be pe yom ye with the process and ia pe yom.
Despite the split, Prime Minister Oketa is determined to keep the process going. Over the following months, he calls the elders together for a number of meetings, which results in a decision that Richard and Sunday must find some of the villages and families of people they killed.
So beri yo kenyma ene yo ene ke karno kala dima dana bichiel mo ber kenyma machala an kurot kriye ba wan dana dia pa wi areo ci pa ngi men ma ko pen mo dong go jondo ci go joni yo an ba chet ngo ama ke do ni ci dong pa ngi men ke men
lo go kyo kene makelo bichirani
Yeah.
lo be walo ni be lo
You can go get in.
Ini makelo te makko
From Palabek, from Lukung up to Gurila Chakshot. We make this placing it down away, or more bed pay. Shut up Kunuqua down when Yamatuanta, Mapangi, Managani. Mala Chakonga, we po Nanjala Tail lock in your bottle. More location number shape. I don't come on, can move on, Shara Yanukun, Himirunia.
Routine don't go watch wa kama jemo teme
go watch
pero mi arquitect gitar era jo macher ni yero char tiji der gimenong tampa dama.
Richard and the elders begin a long, hazardous journey to his former area of operation near the Sudan border.
But for one can ada intelligence. What for penny much will you pull away? And okay, I will look upon me looking at more.
What am I trying to car when you were? She was to put a ticket in the Yenakari. Go you go in the Tenmakan, Kikakani, even a kind keep up for any.
Doing not to make a Saint Port Money, Jan, a TD. Yeah, no long chill mine. Landmine to go talk.
Well, the did more new near to Bang Hill. Macquarie can't chap out with a chill. If we were, it's the under Canucatol. Para, whoa, I share in Lubanan. Eh. And don't wow, can chap out with a real issue. Oh, Torama. My got Toramachan. Toramachan school, car school. Kadong go to Bollerani. Get way down a Rioba. Don't think good, don't think good. Baganana, and don't a boat where I can what could you?
Won't purity.
Pure.
Now, and you think I will be more man, you know, no, don't think come.
Mano, come go, man.
Mano government, you know.
And I don't get it.
Although Richard has problems establishing the identity of the boy he killed, Sunday finds the mother and daughter of one of his victims after only a few hours. Accompanying him, Acholi Chief Rot Joseph is careful to establish what happened.
Tia kela yela kerbe pa juni kan si don wo beru pe ngonen ni katwere umier ki chet kinung ulungat mo achiel madano ruinyo ki area ni nuni mabene chok area ni nuni wek kaye ki en yu me mato pot kaye wek yen yu me lonyo area ni nuni mana ye geno kero wakirwot en man mo awakilu kung.
A few days later, Sunday's clan, the Koch, meet with the victim's clan, the Lamogi, to reveal that Sunday was their son's killer.
E pego mo karangich e karme yela me lwen pa la kwana gen ma kono ber ka tiune ma pe welu ki botwa pe o tiyu kene o tiyu ki lutien wa ma di te ka tiune chila wo ma ja wano do ni lumbore en kon wo loko kwere go en kim jo mo beru ni chila tin wa da wane ma baba di wa go dan en dan mo go ni pe wa ngeo chila wo bi no ni la tin mo ma meu ki go e ken jon si mana e gen mudu ko en LC2 chu cha ke chan kanen in na tem kililo in na nyuru premier ling ka kan man no ba do time yen mier in worre we ke chete chok si ga churi si we na wano bien ke to bien ke anda winyo we ko chugo armer yo kum gidi kum le ten ni la ten ma ga ben ma ga ma khane ke ma ga ben futiri ma ba ber ki ko na ngin be to du ma en kita jono la dan ma pe tar wana lo ni ben an ma di dek ben ga u ma al mu lu ko ara ma wa khalo ten be ga lan la ma pino ku ten ngwan ben kita no chika dong utime mir wo yubu wo ko wek yot kum le ten manen ginu wax wanu bien ye ketan la tien ma utiero lok bot wonne o mer wan wek unu nge pe ko meno en bene ko loxe wek un beno win pe ko ma en loxo
Kan la chao ke lega lo bana chialeng Stella amal bini mona me ko tiketen ar ke maga mate ke maga de abero Stella pena na maraj
kita wor ke kan wa mero lok mo kan ko wa mero
an ke maga wa ki yo nyana wan ki bo bana ene en make maga da wor en kita en kin jo bir en ana bedi make nero ngene sidong an ma chalo an kwaye ki jabori mego wa akate kamaleng an be football winyo era chunya chue pen ki diwo bengo din rum do gola wanya pati mo ke mirna pen re mo pek lo epi
so
chiangena na foya
yen ku be do ti akela ye
foya mate
An tagi mar puri ya dong beri yom chunya dong pechue eno na ngene go nyola te an lalwa lele ben pe goro siki da guru ye pe wa pe goro lele pala te ana fo ya yom maraji lokatum
wanan gwa ge wang maraj ko pengane no bergin me gidi ke ana dia po biro ne go gi chwin maraj ni chwin ko pengane a dui ger ko mari ci biro ti mai ken ke kwali kum no ini luor pe ko ni mer ko no betie.
A critical phase of the Mato Oput process is psychological punishment. For the Acholi, this has more effect than physical torture or imprisonment. The Lamogi clan has offered forgiveness to Sunday for the crime he committed. The next stage of Mato Oput is to set the compensation the Koch will pay, and a few days later at the Kirkalkwaro Acholi Justice Centre, Prime Minister Kenneth Oketa oversees the negotiations.
Man wan no bin char wan jomo watika kok bangai pa mo pun berie tok pa ma unu ti ye ka dan ma mi gusuta ta ma let kitian tok war ka ma unu cho jemni wen peti girmo maraj ma wan ti wan ni unu cho maraj en wan dong wati dak kin me che ka suri mi wan ni
o mi be ngeni dan wani moto no pa ngia ka che gin ma wana be pin che ka me che ka che me no me gang dan o be ko de wat nan pati ki chol pin mai ko en no po ne do wati ma cho cha kin me olu long me gang an mi wati ko pito ka dan ni na ne dan de ngana no be wat ka ma be dan be no wa twal be ni ra ko ko
kari ini ribe me bien wali mi adek duong pe mene petie ya bien mi wa gena ti pien ame gena tieno do ma yigi yom
wana gin mama nong nok me wa ni wa gam en wa binu piene ken en gin ti no lo ke gam pu wan fo pelu.
Off camera, Sunday has been voicing concerns over his security. Even though the Lamogi clan is willing to reconcile, he is fearful they will turn against him. The day for the Mato Oput ritual dawns, and Sunday is missing.
Wan bi ka te tamo ka gene po time.
Oh, la tele para mo diam ki cherki non come par ki
No be ka no chime.
Ija na aro gwer chime e kai. I cher ko te buru ente kuja ino ni.
Các com la tiene fe che wona tie o mi ne tie do.
Ne, tie li ki de. De ne. No, ene pe beto. Ene pe beto ba. Bien wan dan ma don pe to to bo ta pira chil ni na bor ma ti ka
wan wen ke ne wan ke gang be no ti dua ta mo mer tin be wa ulu be ke ko dang na ci ka da bien kan da no ni na ke be ni be
ni nga to se ti mi ka
ti ni wen no dang jo
a fi cher ka yen ni ku be
ye be no ano
la ke o ru bi mo pa ne ti je no tu wa te ro ga yo ko ma yo ko pan yo ko pan le na ja ko pa yo ko pan le ben a mero ni gen ma ke no mero ke me ke ma ke mero don ko pero mo ti umia no e te wa pe da ke ko balu chao mo wa ti ki ti te mo mi wa ke ti wa te wa te gang o ti gang
gang ka
Chị, chị.
Pen param ti na be gwak gene ni. Yar jens bin gene ka bin chuni wi ge be gwak gene ni. De lok dogan nyo gina ana tujini pe rombe gene be perang mati mo kit gene mai kum no nyor na. Si mano na ma anu wa pa ti kam yam so gene lok amati ani ko na petise kera ber gan wa yen penge ke ta dan ko ka ri dogo la che ma kuno be ka wi char be police be tie
no tem kumbe de yini yo ane wa ton lo mo ma ken ko
pien no dong wa ngini ken no ku yu lo ko ki joni dong peti lo mo dok bene kon mo kene dong wa ngini ki bi konyo gi wa wano bene wa yi che kumbe wan wa yi wa char wa nyote ko dong keno wano mero wa ti wa chi tiek loke ka wa tiek loke wan ma chalu nyuru wa cher wi got kita ching ja gen be ku chieke ni ki bi go ko po to ki family ne
na mi yin pe beti lo ko yin pe beti lo
na ka ba gene ro bana
nong chi uri ya
ko ka beta nyo pa beta
pe beta
wa chere
nong chi uri ya yin amit yin pe dong ki yum chin wan wa cha ka la ko chi lo wi we yin pe pe ke ni dia ko ma ni gen we to wan o be ka yo na yo ba
em gần mất cái tiền này gần mất như là tiền bởi vì
tiền
be ka ko ba na ma ko ba ta ma chi pure ala ti ko nya ka ba na ko pure ki ni ma cho jin ji bible ani ma cho ala de lum ni me ngi ka ko ke ko na Adia ko na pelo ada piti jati men
With Sunday persuaded to continue, his family buy the implements and tools necessary for the ritual. Given the enormity of his crime, however, Sunday is still convinced that the Lamogi will not treat him fairly. The final stop is to dig the Oput root, a bitter-tasting root that is drunk at the climax of the Mato Oput ritual.
This is a tree, actually respect. Yeah. So this is a tree which bring people together. Mana yo put. Now go. Good.
Still at issue between the clans, however, is the amount to be paid. The Kalkwaro chiefs must convince the Lamogi clan that right now their budget is limited and payments should be restricted to compensation only.
Dog la tian wajo ento ke kware tika riutal ikin kak karione kaka ko ki kaka man maguru no dano ge chedong utimi wa bedo we welu bet ali miario menu gena wa lokla wo.
The Lamogi clan is resolute.
Sini ene ko nene ni riutal ti kinwa umiero teme piano gwer jemi weng wot korge ko
yo war ba gine war pa teno ko na ngoma un be meyo kilo teno na mabira kala pa kwano konya ngoma un be meyo kilo teno para to ke kan gen ki kan ki panya ki boto gen ki waji ni gino mier uno me bolo teno para to ene o mi ot a chiel ma doga tie ario ene ki me kilo teno para to ma no ki rum igin melo teno para to ento ma pira tek kon ki chul gineo ki chul chiling man en meli elio metedu li eli Midona chiel alip mia bichi tini gen ke miro
Yunge uput doke beru ping kilok meliel kilok meliel.
The day is dragging on and the Acholi chiefs are losing patience. They simply do not have this amount of money.
Enen chalo peti ken ma chulen chalo pe watika par pedano ne kibene umiero nen chalo ke kwaro aye kichwalo lok bodgi chigien ukati lok tikumeno
ndio na chiel gali mia ngwen kwa go gini romo gore mere chane peke beni ko oro tem gina ngo tem ne ngwa cholo kape o mi
gin mo kelo atira ka ere meri bo kinu kijo maki gidiga dia benyo la tingo diak dana ribo wa riba ere no kelo ma chao tiga pide nyim kal kwara ni wambio jemunyo lok ere kal kwara yodonyo iye peribo kinu Mauno miro nen yu ango mora maribo kinu go ben mabe ali mia cheli pianga o begi choro kone ko mia ko wa piranga tiyo fun me kwene wa kemo kalwa kemo do doranga menyeti mi ginen ki choro ka mia ko dong gin la li yo mara mi lo.
Having survived the LRA attack, the brother of Sunday's victim is angry that funeral rites may not be paid.
Mia wa nyir ko bino be pen ti program me dini eno mier be ta pian ko nya pe me tem pian ka wa ti mo gini we ko nyu nyir be kir ti ngat mo be duogo ka chal kira ti ka no le wa ko no le be na chal wana no le pian ana to adong kana en to pa la tin wa dong ana to ma gi en ti ka no le no le ta ben
man prime minister che ka en pe gi waji ka lim ma wa mere ka pe chi dong no pe tim me pen ko ru no chera ga che rok mo biro boru konyo gi ki jami chi gi tiu kwere gi konyo ki dano gi
era ka utama ni man ko ni bir gi mar puto won pa mar fut ki wori man go bien rita jo mar futika
chekine putika na we ne to ba onyo bu me gange mwek dong to bo chwal mabo anga mo bien ko limi ki kwaro yubi konyo du golani mine ni toni kitero ke kwaro be yuchu me konyo du golani mine ni oput ke maro
long mo pegi mar puto wali me gangwa dun ka chelo liwen wadani ganga chelo liwen era mi jemo pur be me leng tim wen be balo be peye mi wino dirwani o tie ko wen ko lo me gor liel gimati dog maji.
Sunday, the offender, has openly confessed his crime. The Lamogi clan and the community have forgiven him, and now both sides have agreed on the level of compensation to be paid. Under a Choli tradition, they can now move into the final stage of the Mato Oput ritual itself.
Yeah, man, aye, kid ma chule luwa ke bal, kati pajo. She want word on what you may chingu. We have a neno, kid ma luwa ke dikalo kwere. One ko.
Merong armani, banda kwan na wangi. Ako bin di kwan pa kan yuri tan.
Jang mo ko lukan. Jang mo ko lukan.
Chingo che, one or you know chule ko.
We chat chaka me word yo.
Con bơ chung ở cầu.
Chung ở cầu quán đi nữa. Uya ye wana mero. Na donguru kuru ya nguru uya ko me ki jatte ko. Te uya ye na ma che. Uya bere ko mero gunti tungi gitu.
Both sides can now drink together, with the bitter taste of the Oput brew symbolising the bitterness arising from the crime. The sharing of the drink represents the return of peace. The sharing of a meal marks the return of unity.
Kumberishan anda mar food ki joma an chiao che karma ke maga luany pakonya timo bali chingi don kumberi waripe ma chuli kit ma chuli timo kere kelron kot mo ke kan bien gino mo e kan maramo timo pe pen kumberi waripe wada ko wat ka mer bena nyum kan pete kit bal mo ka mer be limo gi pete kit no bal mo ke kan pen gu jola gu ye an mo gwenyo waripe pen yam chon chiam biche.
With the successful conclusion to Sunday's Mato Oput ceremony, the Acholi elders are aware they have created a turning point in healing the scars of conflict in Acholi land. Mato Oput, with its emphasis on reconciliation, not retribution, is effective because it is accepted by the community. Western international justice that demands prosecution is a far less effective solution.
It is a serious issue that the international community must look at it very seriously, because it can have a rebuttal. It can come back in a different forms of conflict, like land conflicts, gender violence. See, so we have to address it in a holistic manner.
Even though the war is over, as the clans unwind, the shadow of Joseph Kony still hangs over everyone. More than 1.5 million people have suffered in one of the worst humanitarian tragedies. Not a single family is untouched.
An bare ko yo to ko yo ne ka do anda pur bene kwe ti mango bene kwe ko bene ko ogi ne ko
Anya magrira wa.
Mshiko magrira wo.
Angini kon ko dugo mirgi ne ka ne. Pien bal ma konyo timu dit ma konyo pere. Ngwe ka wan tin wati lu pe ha.
Ki an bene tie ine no gi chao timu. Kwe foi wek dan we riba di obeda ciel.
Con ka dugo tiyo du gole ba ma bi ciel kol ma wo be pe. Uneki. Ke du ngo we ko be be.
Con ka obino mere no don pirwate mo putin.
Dan we onen kon konyo le we chok wan we onen konyo tin wat ma ne tin a bijulo ati don kena gara kere wan lire wa no do ngo kon mer do ki onen kon konyo ne ko dan ne no.
Yet Joseph Konyu's ragged army is still out there, pushed northwards, terrorising communities along the borders of the Congo and southern Sudan. The work of Kenneth Oketo, Rot Joseph and the elders in Sunday's case has begun the work of repairing the fractured communities in Acholiland, achieving reconciliation and forgiveness for war crimes of a key senior LRA commander through the Mato Oput system paves the way for communities across northern Uganda to heal themselves through traditional justice. Richard is still waiting for his Mato Oput justice. With a fresh start, Sunday is born again and has been elected unopposed as a youth leader.